Hi students, I welcome to all of you to this session of refrigeration and air conditioning. Dear students, you know that in last class we have discussed about the domestic Electrolux refrigeration, that is your aqua ammonia refrigeration system, and and related thing, that means the desirable properties of the refrigerant also discussed. So I hope if you are submitting the assignment which are provided to you. So this is me, Dhiraj Mondal, Assistant Professor, JIS College of Engineering, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Kolani Nodia. This is my email ID and phone number. You can contact me if there is any kind of doubt or for admission purpose. Okay, so admission for 2020 is open right now. So welcome to JIS College of Engineering. You know that the JIS College of Engineering, first private engineering college in West Bengal. You can see the ranking, and the Department of Mechanical Engineering, it is NBA accredited Tier 1 NBA accredited department. So for more query you can contact this number. This is the contact number of our HOD. In case if you want to visit our college, then most welcome. The college which is NAC approval, AICT, UGC, WUT or Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad University approval. Okay, so Macaut and NIRF rank college. So today we are going to discuss about the lithium bromide refrigeration absorption system. Lithium bromide absorption refrigeration system. So let us start. Before coming to the discussion, you know that you have seen the what is the absorption system, what are the types, what are the principle, the diagram which were discussed, and these are the components. Okay, and advantages, disadvantages also discussed. Simple vapor absorption system discussed, then practical or actual vapor absorption system was discussed, compression was discussed, and you can see the coefficient of performance where we have seen that this is the maximum COP of the ideal vapor absorption system. COP max is equal to COP Carnot into Carnot heating efficiency. The Electrolux refrigerator, that means your aqua ammonia refrigeration system or three fluid system was discussed, and today we are going to discuss about the lithium bromide absorption system. Okay, so lithium bromide absorption system, you can see there are mainly two drum, where in one drum you can see there is a condenser and your generator, and in another drum which is where the evaporator and the absorber is placed. Okay, and because why it is like this, because it is, as we know that steam, your generator and condenser, it is operating in the same temperature, same pressure, and evaporator and absorber, it is operating in the same pressure. That is why you are using like this. Okay, so basically the lithium bromide salt, which is highly hygroscopic, it is employed as the absorbent. Okay, so the lithium bromide salt is employed as the absorbent, and water is employed as the refrigerant here. Okay, so the lithium bromide solution has a strong affinity of water vapor because of its very low pressure. So you know that the lithium bromide solution, it is having some special strong affinity for water vapor because of its very low pressure. Okay, now since water is the refrigerant here, and the refrigerant operating temperature in the evaporator has to be above the freezing point of water. What is freezing point of water? 0 degree centigrade temperature. Okay, so lithium bromide solution is, you know that it is corrosive as such. Inhibitor like lithium chromate is often used to protect the metal part of the system against corrosion. In this figure you can see the arrangement of lithium bromide absorption and refrigerant system. This is the figure. And the absorber and evaporator, you can see the absorber and evaporator are housed in the one cylindrical shell. You know that why? Because they are operated at about same temperature. So why we are using evaporator and absorber in the same drum or same cylindrical shell? Because it is operating in a same pressure. Okay, same pressure range. Okay, it is operating. And the generator and condenser, here it is the generator and condenser are enclosed in another cylindrical shell, as their operating pressure are near about the same. Okay, now the evaporator, what happened? The evaporator contains refrigerant. What is refrigerant here? Basically we are using water as refrigerant. Okay, so the evaporator contains refrigerant, which is water, and the absorber has a charge of lithium bromide solution. In this absorber we will see that in the absorber and the absorber has a charge of lithium bromide solution. The solution from the absorber is pumped to the generator by the solution pump. Here you can see this is the solution pump. Now by the help of the solution pump, the what about the lithium bromide solution that is pumped to the generator. Here you can see this is the generator and it is passing through the heat exchanger, you can see. Okay, so this is passing through the heat exchanger. Now the chilled water, you can see the chilled water tube bundle passes through the evaporator section. This is your evaporator, and the chilled water tube bundle, it is passing through the evaporator section of the shell, carrying the water to be cooled. So this water of the evaporator has to be cooled by the help of this chilled water tube. Okay, the absorber and condenser section have water tube bundles passing through, in which the cooling tower water is circulated. The condenser portion, okay, and the condenser portion of the generator shell has tube bundle to the cooling water tower water to cool or condensate, and the refrigerant, that is your water vapor. Okay, so the absorber and condenser section have water tube bundles passing through, in which the cooling tower water is circulated. This is the absorber and this is the absorber and this is the condenser. So this absorber and condenser section have water tube bundles which is passing through, in which the cooling tower water is circulated. The condenser portion is of generator shell. This is the condenser portion of the generator. So condenser portion of the generator shell has tube bundle to circulate cooling water to cool or condensate the refrigerant, that is your water vapor. Okay, so that is your water. So next point is your refrigerant water is sprayed through the nozzle. So the refrigerant water is sprayed through the nozzle over the chilled water tube bundle by the evaporator pump. You can see this is the evaporator pump. Here in the figure you can see the chilled water. This is the chilled water, and what happened? The refrigerant water is sprayed through nozzle. This is your nozzle. Now over the chilled nozzle over the chilled water tube bundle by evaporative pump and the heat exchanger. What is the function of heat exchanger? Heat exchanger is added to improve the cycle efficiency. This heat exchanger, what happened? Whenever the absorber, the lithium bromide solution, you can see when the absorber solution pump is from the solution, by the help of the solution pump, the mixture of lithium bromide and water, it is coming to the generator. So through this heat exchanger, what happened, it is exchanging some heat or taking some heat, and it is entering into the generator part. So what happened, from the absorber, it is through this heat exchanger, it is entering to the generator part, and the weak solution, you can see from the generator, it is coming back to the absorber, and it is spraying on the on the tube, which where the cooling tower water is circulate, and this cooling tower water is coming to the condenser part. Okay, so in this figure you can see one pump. This is on cooling tower water pump. Okay, this is a solution pump, this is your evaporative pump. Okay, now what happened, the cold water from the cooling tower, it is passing through this absorber, and it is entering to the condenser and overflow. The excess amount of cooled water, it is passing through this way, and this is your condenser, and this is the cooling water outlet. Okay, now from the absorber, the solution of lithium bromide and water, it is coming to the generator, and from the generator, what happened, steam or any heat source is given to the generator. So here what happened, the heat is added, so that the weak solution is basically coming back to the absorber, and it is spraying over this your pipe duct, through which the cold water is coming to the condenser. Okay, and when it is passing through this heat exchanger, it is exchanging some heat, and it is spraying on the tube and in the absorber, you can say. Okay, now what happened, the from the condenser part, QC amount of heat is rejected to the surrounding, and the cold water, okay, so the through this pressure reducing valve, the cold water, it is coming to the evaporator section through this pressure reducing valve, and it is basically entering to the evaporator section, and the evaporator section, by the help of the chilled water, the evaporator is basically cooling down. Okay, so this is the process, and the major application of this system is air conditioning, chilling of drinking water, chilling of beverage or fruit juice. These are the example. Since the water is used as refrigerant in lithium bromide water absorption system, it can be used where the temperature required above 4 degrees centigrade. Hence the major field, I have told you, that air conditioning, chilling of drinking water, and chilling of beverage or fruit juice. Okay, so I hope it is clear. And why we are using the lithium bromide, because it is having some strong affinity with water vapor. Okay, the lithium bromide solution has a strong affinity for water vapor because of its very low pressure. Okay, and you know that since the water is the refrigerant operating temperature in the evaporator has to be above the freezing point of water. That is why we are using this, and the here the arrangement, in this arrangement, two tube shell is used, one for absorber and evaporator, and one for generator and condenser. Okay, so and the working the heat exchanger, why it is using, it is basically exchanging heat and the improving the performance of the refrigeration system. Okay, the evaporator contains refrigerant. So refrigerant means your water, and the absorber has a that means the absorber means your, in case of this lithium bromide refrigerant system, we will see that the water is taken as a refrigerant, and the absorbent is what, lithium bromide salt. Okay, now The evaporator contains refrigerant and the absorber has a charge of lithium bromide solution. The solution from the absorber is pumped to the generator by the solution pump. You can see this is the solution pump, and the solution from the absorber, this is the absorber, pumped to the generator by the solution pump, and it is passing through this heat exchanger. Okay, it is passing through this heat exchanger. Now the chilled water tube bundle, you can see this is the chilled water tube bundle. So chilled water tube bundle passes through the evaporator section. This is the evaporator, and it is passes through the evaporator section of the shell, carrying the water to be cooled. This is the water is should be cooled down, so that is why we are using this one. And the absorber and condenser section have water tube bundle passes you can see the absorber and condenser section. This is your absorber and this is the condenser section, and it is passes through the water tube bundle. This is the cooling water. Okay, so the absorber and condenser section have water tube bundles passing through, in which the cooling tower water is circulated, and the condenser portion of the generator shell, the condenser portion, you can see this is the condenser portion of the generator shell. Okay, this is the condenser portion of the generator shell. So condenser portion of the generator shell has tube bundle to circulate cooling tower water to cool. This is the cooling tower water, and here by the help of this cooling tower water, the water is cooling down. Okay, and this is how it is operating. And what is the function of the nozzle? Basically, the refrigerant water is sprayed through nozzle over the chilled water tube bundle by the evaporative pump. You can see when the refrigerant water, it is basically the refrigerant water is sprayed over the chilled water tube bundle. You can see. So this is your evaporator. From this evaporative pump, the refrigerant water is sprayed over this chilled water tube bundle by the evaporator pump, so to cooling down the system. Okay, and the heat exchanger, basically it is improving the cycle efficiency. So this is all about the lithium bromide refrigerant system. I hope it is clear. Okay, so next we will be discussing some numerical problem. So let us solve this numerical, very important numerical for your exam point of view. So go through the problem. A vapor compression cycle with ammonia as the refrigerant works between the limit of saturated suction temperature of -20 degrees centigrade. This temperature is -20 degrees centigrade, and the saturated condensing temperature is 30 degrees centigrade. It is a simple saturated cycle, and compression is isentropic. Determine the work of compression per kg of ammonia. So per kg of ammonia you have to calculate the work of compression per kg of ammonia. Compare the same if ammonia vapor leaving the evaporator at -20 degrees centigrade is absorbed by water, so that the mass concentration in the solution reaches about 40%, and its solution is pumped to the condenser pressure. Okay, the specific volume of the solution may be assumed at 0.001161 meter cube per kg. Okay, so the pH diagram, you can see this is the pH diagram, and according after going through the problem, you can draw this diagram. 1 to 2 is your evaporation, 2 to 3 the process, 2 to 3 is your compression, 3 to 4 is your condensation, and 4 to 1 is a throttling device. Okay, where enthalpy remain unchanged. So here it is given for NH3 at 30 degrees centigrade, the P condenser pressure is given 11. It is basically 11 from the refrigeration table you can find out. It is 11.66989 bar, and at -20 degrees centigrade temperature, the evaporator pressure would be 1.9028 bar. Okay, So this you have to find out in from the refrigeration table. Now from pH chart of the isentropic compression, H2 is equal to what? This is the H2, and from the pH chart you can easily find out by the help of the Mollier chart. Okay, so pH chart you can find out H2 is equal to 1420 kilojoule per kg. Either the refrigeration table and the Mollier and the pH chart, all these will be given, or the value will be given in the question. Okay, so don't worry, you need to put just value, and very easy problem. Basically the main difficulties is how we can calculate the H2, H3 and all this. So first of all you need to draw the pH diagram, which is very important. Without this pH diagram and the concept of the pH diagram, you can't solve this problem. Okay, so the H2 is equal to 1420 kilojoule per kg and H3 is equal to 1668 kilojoule per kg. Now can I find out the compressor work? Because you know that compressor is operating between 2 to 3. So the compressor work is equal to per kg of mass is equal to H3 minus H2. So H3 minus H2 is equal to 248 kilojoule per kg. Am I right? So this is the compressor work. Now for 40% concentration, the mass of the solution per kg of ammonia dissolved is equal to what? 1 by 0.4. So 2.5 kg per kg of ammonia dissolved. So it is told in the question that the solution reaches about 40% and its solution is pumped to the condenser pressure. So this is the 2.5 kg per kg of ammonia dissolved, as it is told that 40% concentration, the mass of solution per kg of ammonia dissolved is equal to 2.5 kg per kg of ammonia dissolved. Thus shaft work is equal to what? Mass of the solution into specific volume, because specific volume is your 1 by density. So mass of the solution into specific volume into P condenser minus P evaporator. Okay, because VdP na, so your V is equal to it is basically rho is equal to m by V. So put all the value V is equal to m into specific volume and P condenser pressure difference VdP. Okay, so 10 to the 5 by 10 to the 3. So ultimately 2.835 kilojoule per kg of dissolved ammonia, it is the shaft work. Okay, now the considering the irreversibilities and the efficiency to be same in both case for the compression process, the shaft work required by vapor absorption system as compared to the vapor compression system is what? 2.835. It is the this amount of kilojoule per kg of ammonia dissolved, and 248 is the what? 248 is equal kilojoule per kg is the compressor work per kg of ammonia. So ultimately 0.01 or 1.143% is the correct answer. Okay, so this is how you can calculate. Next problem number 5.2, you can see in an absorption type refrigerator, the heat is supplied to NH3 vapor NH3 generator by condensing steam at 2 bar and 88% dry. The temperature in the refrigerator is to be maintained at -4 degrees centigrade. Find the maximum COP, possible COP. Okay, and if the refrigeration load is 18 ton and the actual COP is 72% of the maximum COP, find the mass of steam required per hour. Take the temperature of the atmosphere as to 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, so here the given data is your P is equal to 2 bar, X is equal to 88%, that means 0.88, T, that is your evaporator temperature, is equal to 269 Kelvin, Q, that is your refrigeration effect 18 ton, and COP actual is given 0.72, that is your 72%. So that means your 0.72 into COP maximum, because the actual COP is 72% of the maximum COP, and the TC condenser temperature is 25 degrees centigrade, that means 298 Kelvin. How we can calculate? We can calculate, you know that the TG or the generator temperature is equal to what? In the equation it is given that 120.2. okay, so the generator temperature is basically 120, that means it is not given, basically it is from the steam table. Okay, from the steam table you can find out the corresponding 2 bar pressure is there, so the saturation temperature would be 120.2 degrees centigrade. So TG is equal to 393.2 Kelvin. Okay, so why? Because we have seen that the 2 bar the pressure is the 2 bar. Okay, so go to the corresponding pressure 2 bar and you will be finding out the TG, that is your generator temperature. Now COP maximum is equal to this formula, you know. This is the formula, TE by TC minus TE into TG minus TC by TG. So TE is equal to what? Already you know that it is equal to 268 and TC is equal to 298 and 298 and T again 268. Now TC is equal to 393.2 and TC is equal to 298 again. So 2.246 is the correct answer, the maximum COP. Now if I want to calculate the mass of steam required per hour, so the COP actual is equal to 0.72 COP max. So 1.617 is the actual COP. Actual heat supplied is equal to refrigeration load by COP actual. Okay, so the refrigeration load is equal to 14,000 into 18, because Q is the Q is the refrigeration effect, so 18 ton is the refrigeration effect. So the actual heat supplied is equal to 14,000 into 18 by 1.617. So the answer is your 155844 kilojoule per hour. It is the actual heat supplied. Okay, kilojoule per hour. So remember, if you are taking 3.5 kilowatt, then it will be kilojoule per second kilowatt, and if you are taking 210, okay, 210, then it will be kilojoule per minute. Assuming that only latent heat of steam is used for heating purpose, the latent heat of the steam from the steam table corresponding to the 2 bar pressure HFG is equal to, you know, 2201.6 kilojoule per kg. You can find out by the help of the steam table. So HFG is equal to 2201.6 kilojoule per kg. So now we can easily calculate the mass of steam required per hour is equal to actual heat supplied by X into HFG. Okay, so the actual heat supplied 155844 by X is equal to 0.88, it is given, and HFG, that is your latent heat of vaporization, it is equal to 2201.6. So if after the calculation, what we will be getting 80.44 kilojoule per hour. So this is the answer. I hope it is clear. Very important numerical for your exam point of view. And today up to this, and next class some more numerical will be discussed. So I hope this is the end of the video. Vapor absorption reference system, all this part is discussed carefully. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. I will get back to you. And whatever I have discussed today, that is your assignment. Submit the assignment to my given mail. So before ending to the video, I can say that Department of Mechanical Engineering NB accredited department. Most welcome to the JIS College of Engineering Mechanical Engineering department. In case if you want to join Here you can contact in this number, or you can connect me. This is my phone number, and this is my email ID. Any kind of query you can call me related to subject and admission purpose. So admission for 2020 is open right now. You can visit our college if you wish. So today up to this, thank you for listening. Jai.